This video is about indirect competitors, and I will address two questions. Why are they important and why should we study them in marketing? And we will explore examples in practice, and hopefully they will surprise you. Indirect competitors is a part of the larger marketing strategy chapter. I have already recorded a video on the differences between direct and indirect competitors, but just to recap very briefly, indirect competitors would go after the same target market as direct competitors. However, they would offer different or slightly different or might be similar products that satisfy the same need, and they would charge same or different price. So the differentiation comes in terms of either a product, a price, or both. However, they would go after the same target market. Let's now consider some of the examples. Here on the screen, you can see something called cassettes. Some of you may never heard about them, may never use them. Some of you may have used them. Often it would be related to your age. So cassettes. The compact cassettes, also commonly called as a cassette type or tape, audio cassettes, or simply tape or cassette, is an analog magnetic tape recording format for audio recording and playback. It was invented in 1963, so exactly 60 years ago. They were very popular to start with. However, by the beginning 1990s, the sales of CDs were overtaking those of pre-recorded cassettes, which was a more popular alternative to cassettes. Interesting fact, the last new car with an available cassette player was known to be in 2014, tag a Z Aquila. And today you have all those different digital recorders that are popular. So basically the point here is that the sales of cassettes declined not because of the direct competitors, but because of the indirect competitors, such as competition with CDs, later competition with MP3, and so forth. Interesting fact today is that compact cassette tapes remain in production as of 2022, and they survive as a niche format, continuing to receive some new music releases. Now consider Google. Who are they competing with? Are these other search engines such as Yahoo, Bing, or any other search type engine? Well, whilst at least when I ask my students, most of the times they will specifically talk to me about the other search engines, such as the ones I mentioned. However, Google's main competitor is actually probably Facebook or Meta. The two giant American companies have the same business models. They are making money from advertising. Most of the revenue comes from advertising. So in this respect, they are the biggest competitors. Both Google and Meta target the same marketers in this case. They offer similar product access to customers through the data that you kind of like pay for, but the price they charge and the method of calculation is different. So if you look at the business models, these would be the closest competitors. However, today you can think a little bit broader about Google. They might be expanding into pharmaceutical industry, and there is so much discussion on the media. Is Google, which is a part of Alphabet company, is it a pharmaceutical company or not? And you can look at specifically at the companies they acquired in the previous years, how much money they paid and what they do. So in that sense, you can argue that Alphabet has now a foot in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, you may think about, how about something like Ritz-Carlton Hotel? Who do they compete with? So you can say that they're competing on more direct level with other fine hotels, such as Four Seasons. However, they have lots of indirect competitors where they might be competing with cheaper hotels. They might also be competing with other spa and leisure activities because, for example, if people are thinking buying a gift, say for example to their parents, which is like a day or 2 day out in a hotel, they might consider other alternatives. So it's more like about the discretionary purchases we make. So there can be different levels of competition. Now, If you think about Starbucks, who are they competing with? Well, it's obvious to say that they are competing with other coffee shops such as Costa and Coffee Nero. However, actually, you could think of at least 4 different levels of competition for Starbucks. Primary competitors would be Costa Coffee and Cafe Nero because they go after the same target market, they offer similar or same product, they charge similar prices. And at least in the UK, Starbucks, Costa and Cafe Nero command at least 50% of the market share. But you can identify competitors on the secondary level, with more users thinking that hot drink from other shops such as bakeries are better value for money than those from specialist shops. Establishments in the UK such as Pretty Manger, Greggs, and even fast food restaurants like McDonald's have increased market share amongst non-specialist chains. You can think of the tertiary level competitors as the big players in the coffee shop market fight against the negative associations of being large multinational companies. There is a growth in smaller artisan chains such as Coffee Number One, Harris Plus, Hull, and other coffee shops. And there is an increasing number of users preferring independent shops over high street. And there can be fourth level of competitors or completely indirect competitors seeking to spend disposable income elsewhere. There is an increasing number of people opting to save money through the purchasing of home coffee machines such as Tassimo, Dolce Vita, and others. So the point here is that unfortunately many companies might define competition too narrowly and fail to recognize the most compelling opportunities. For example, sales in apparel industry often have been stagnant in recent years as consumers have decided to spend on other things like home furnishing, electronics, traveling, and other products, perhaps pre-pandemic, because during pandemic we couldn't travel as much. And these are all the things that better suited their lifestyle. Leading clothing makers may be better off considering the differences of the offering not so much against other clothing labels as against other discretionary purchases. Similarly, even if a company does not face direct competition in its product category and thus does not share performance-related attributes and or benefits with other products, it can still share more abstract associations and face indirect competition in a more broadly defined product category. For example, to boost your self-esteem, a person may consider between buying, say, Chanel perfume or Ted Baker's bag. 2 completely different products, but help in a way satisfy the same drive. This is why considering both direct and indirect competitors is so important. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.